Hello everyone, DeckTrolls here. Today I have for you a deck that is by no means competitive. It is purely for fun. It is a Summon Skull deck. Through lots of testing, I tried to make this as cheap and consistent as I could, while getting the different kinds of Summon Skull in there. Although it doesn't have the zombie one, so don't really anticipate that. So here we go. You got 2 Summon Skull, 2 Skull Archfiend of Lightning. During each of your standby phases, you must pay 500 life points. This is not optional. Or this card is destroyed. Before resolving an opponent's card effect that targets this card, roll a 6-sided die and negate the effect if you roll a 1, 3, or 6. And if you do, destroy that card. You got 2 Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning. This card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard. While this card is normal summoned on the field, you can normal summon it to have it become an effect monster with this effect. Once per turn, you can destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls with defense lower than this card's attack. You got 3 Archfiend Heiress. If this card is sent to the graveyard because of card effects or being destroyed by a battle, you can add 1 Archfiend card from your deck to your hand, except Archfiend Heiress. You can only use the effect of Archfiend Heiress once per turn. You have 1 Tour Guide from the Underworld. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 level 3 Fiend type monster from your hand or deck, but it has its effects negated, also cannot be used as synchro material. You got 3 Archfiend Eccentric. Pendulum effect is you can target 1 other spell or trap card on the field, destroy both it and this card. You can only use this effect of Archfiend Eccentric once per turn. And its field effect is, monster effect is, you contribute this card, then target 1 monster on the field, destroy it. You can only use the effect of this effect of Archfiend Eccentric once per turn. You got 3 Archfiend Cavalry. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle, is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Archfiend monster in your graveyard, except Archfiend Cavalry, and special summon it, but it cannot attack this turn. You got 2 Evil Hero Infernal Gainer. During your main phase 1, you can banish this card, then target 1 Fiend type monster you control. That target can make a second attack during each battle phase. During your second standby phase after this effect was activated, special summon this banish card in attack position. You have 1 Evil Hero Malicious Edge. If your opponent controls a monster and you contribute this card by attributing with 1 monster. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. You have 1 Rainbow Karibo. It's a hand trap. You can only use each effect of Rainbow Karibo once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can target the attacking monster, equip this card from your hand to that monster. It cannot attack. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So it's just some protection. Lastly, for the monsters, we have 1 Red Eyes Bee Dragon. Alright, so for the spells, we have 1 Archfiend Palabyrinth. All Fiend type monsters you control gain 500 attack. You can target 1 Archfiend monster you control, Banish one other fiend-type monster you control, and if you do, special summon from your hand, deck, or graveyard one Archfiend monster with the same level as the targeted monster. You can only use the effect of Archfiend Labyrinth once per turn. This is to help you get out multiple Summon Skull type monsters. You got 2 Allure of Darkness. Draw 2 cards, then banish 1 dark monster from your hand, or if you do not have any monsters in your hand, any dark monsters in your hand, send your entire hand to the graveyard. You have 1 Makyu, the Magical Mist. Target 1 Summon Skull or Thunder type monster you control. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with defense less than or equal to the attack of that monster. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this card. You have 1 Red Eyes Fusion. Fusion summon 1 fusion type monster that lists Red Eyes monster as material from your extra deck, using the monsters from your hand or field as fusion deck or field as fusion materials. And if you do, its name becomes Red Eyes Bee Dragon. You cannot normal summon or special summon monsters the turn you activate this card. You can only activate 1 Red Eyes Fusion per turn. 2 Fires of Doomsday. Special summon 2 Doomsday tokens. Fiend, Dark, level 1, attack 0, defense 0, in defense position. These tokens cannot be attributed for tribute summon unless it's for a dark monster. You cannot special summon other monsters the turn you activate this card, but you can normal set. You have 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Pay 1,000 life points, then target 1 spell or trap on the field and banish it. 2 Ego Boost. When a monster declares an attack, target 1 face-up monster on the field. It gains 1,000 attack until the end of the battle phase. And lastly, 1 Card Trader. Once per turn during the standby phase, you can shuffle 1 card from your hand into the deck and draw 1 card. And for the traps, we have 3 Sinister Yorishiro. Each turn, 1 level 5 or higher fiend-type monster you normal summon can be special summoned without attributing. If exactly 1 normal monster or set level 5 or higher fiend-type monster and no other cards would be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. This is actually really good for getting out your monsters, so you don't have to do so much attributing. Have 2 Nightmare Wheel. Target 1 monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack or change its battle position. When it leaves the field, destroy this card during each of your standby phases. While that monster is on the field, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Yep. 2 Chain Destruction. When a monster or monsters with 2,000 or less attack is summoned, target 1 of them. Destroy all cards with that name in the controller's hand and main deck. Lastly, 1 Wall of Disruption. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, all attack position monsters your opponent controls lose 800 attack for each monster they control. And for the extra deck, I recommend running rank 3s only because of your level 3 monsters, but you do want your heirs to get destroyed. But I recommend putting in rank 3s, but I don't have any at the moment. But I do have my 1 card right here, Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. Requires 1 level 6 Archfiend normal monster and 1 Red Eyes normal monster. You can only special summon Archfiend Black Skull Dragon once per turn. If this card battles your opponent's card your opponent's cards and effects cannot activate until the end of the damage step. If damage calculation is performed involving this fusion summon card, at the end of the battle phase, you can target 1 Red Eyes normal monster in your graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack in the graveyard, and shuffle it to the deck. Alright guys, so that is my Summon Skull deck. Tell me what you think. How would you improve it? Yeah, just give me some tips. How would you improve it? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, this is by no means competitive, but it's really fun to play, just for the heck of it. Alright guys, so remember, I have 100 plus decks. There's going to be a lot of fun content coming your way. They're budget friendly. So yeah, please make sure to like and subscribe. Most importantly, have fun guys.